As you should.
Welcome back to WKYT's Kentucky Newsmakers. The workplace is changing, and so is the skill set for those who lead companies and organizations. Crinda Francke has trained executives for more than a quarter of a century with her business ExecuTrain. Recently, Francke was recognized as the Kentucky Small Business Person of the Year. And Crinda's with us today. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations on that award, by the way, the recognition, well deserved.
Yeah, well, thank you. It was so much fun, and well, it's very unexpected, but we went to DC, and we were with 49 other winners from the states, and it was so cool to see what other businesses people had started and the different ideas they had. And you know, one of my big buddies was Alaska, and so we just talked about how many similar things we had in common because we do run a small business. And it didn't really matter what the business or where it was located, we still faced the same kind of challenges, and it was just such a great experience.
Great, and your business is unique. You have said it's about making people better. What do you do for executives and business leaders that helps them meet their goals and attain the best version of themselves?
Well, we help executives, but I think one of the biggest things we do is help them move the bottom line or add to the bottom line, because the cost of turnover and errors and just low productivity really cost companies a lot of money. So where we come in and I think make the biggest impact is that we help train their employees, and we help them be better at their jobs, and maybe it's soft skills, because there was a time when we had all face-to-face communication. We met in person, and now there's so much done virtually and either via text. There's a lot of communication skills that people have lost or maybe never had. So we help with communication, conflict, computer skills, and I think that's one of the biggest things we do for executives is help make their team better, and which in turn probably makes them look better.
Is retention of the workforce easier than going out and recruiting new employees?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And we're in a labor market where you have to reskill and upskill your employees. It's just getting more challenging to find employees as well as keep them. So the more you invest into your company, as well as Gen Z really values continual learning. They want their employer to invest in them. They want to continue to grow. So the more employers do that, the more they're going to be able to hang on to their folks.
What do you say to young men and women as they prepare for the future? That you know, the old, you didn't start the fire, but yet they are the future, and so there is that intergenerational workforce where maybe some people in their 20s are working with people in their 60s or even 70s. It's quite an interesting place out there now.
Yeah, it really is. There's, you know, at least 5 generations in the workforce. People are living longer, so therefore they're working longer, and 5, maybe 6. But you know, it's challenging because someone, even me, I find myself sometimes feeling a little bit old, and I'm like, well, that's not the way I would have done it, or oh, the work ethic.
This worked in '95. Right?
Yeah. And you know, and it's really not a workplace anymore. As younger and younger folks enter the workspace, I think we wore our work till you drop. That culture was, you know, if you didn't work 50 or 60 hours, I mean, it was a badge of honor. And now people really value work-life balance. So Gen Z and younger. But then you've still got the old archaic workhorses, and so we have a hard time, you know, sometimes they may seem a little lackadaisical, and then they probably think we have no life outside of work, which I don't know. I think I do, but
both can be true.
Both can be true. Absolutely, both can be true. I say work-life balance is a moving target anyway, right?
Yeah.
You can have it all. You can't have it all at the same time. But there's just so many nuances with those different generations in the workplace. But I think I'll put you in the bucket with me. We're out here a little bit. We have as much to learn from them about adaptability and curiosity as they do from us about it's okay to know how things have been done, but then we need to go, well, how could they be done better? or easier,
Yeah.
or maybe just not have to be a 60-hour work week.
No,
and
I
that's
agree
okay.
with that. They have lived with the technology their whole lives,
Yeah.
so that's so easy.
It is
and
so easy.
Yeah, it is interesting. How do you suggest that people do evolve, or that they at least acknowledge within themselves they need to evolve to stay relevant in the workforce?
Well, you can almost just look around and go, oh, I don't even know how to do all that on my iPhone, right? So I think you have to be comfortable with continual learning, be ready to learn, and I don't think that really applies to just one age group or another. You know, if I hire a new employee and they're young and maybe I'm their first job, I don't expect them to know everything, but I do expect them to try to learn and to want to be eager and to adapt. I know my niece started a new job about a month ago, and she was so scared. She goes, everybody's going to know more than me, and that makes me really nervous. And I said, they don't expect you to know as much, but they do expect you to try. So, you know, just to continue and try and learn. But, you know, it's not always easy to teach an old dog a new trick, is it?
That's right. What is the good workplace culture where everybody recognizes that everybody has a right to be there, that everybody is rowing in the same direction, and that there is this acknowledgement that there may be different ways to do the same thing?
Yeah, and that's challenging because the workplace has changed. Hybrid and remote is here to stay, and it's the new normal. And building a culture within an organization prior to remote work involved, you know, chats around the water cooler and pizza at lunch and doing this, and you built a team and a camaraderie where it felt like a family. Well, today's workplace, we have to find more creative ways to do that. So how do we collaborate? How do we use technology? Do we still come in and have, you know, face-to-face meetings so that you have still that personal interaction? But it's really important that you share your goals and communicate what the company's mission statement is, why we're here, how we're going to grow, so that everybody feels a part of it.
So the pandemic shift was real, and it is here to stay to some extent.
Yeah, to some extent. Now, I've seen a lot of larger companies calling everybody back to the workplace, and there's always seems to be like a sudden shift. Okay, we'll all go remote. Okay, now we're going to bring everybody back, and I do think the hybrid approach is here to stay. I think there's some validity in giving people a day that they work from home or that sort of thing. It helps with their work-life balance, their stress levels. So I don't really think that's going to go away, nor do I think it should. I am a big proponent of personal interaction and communication when you can look someone in the eye. And so often on Teams meetings or Zoom, I think people think they're very good at multitasking, so they're in a meeting, but they're also doing the grocery list and something else over here. And I probably am guilty of it too. So,
But
yeah.
you can really only concentrate on
You
one
really
thing at a time.
can, yeah. My father-in-law, and this is also biblical, but said a person can only serve one master. So you can only do one thing well at a time.
Women are much more often in positions of leadership these days. More women are in college than men. More women are going to professional schools here in Kentucky, such as law school and dentistry and so on. Is the playing field level now?
Well, it's certainly much more level than when I started. I started in IT training, and there were hardly any females in information technology when I started. So that has definitely changed. There's a lot more females in STEM and in supervisory roles and leadership roles. So it's definitely changed and increased. You know, women are good leaders. They're good to be in those positions. We're very empathetic. We're very intuitive, and we care about there being a cohesion among the team. And not to say that men don't, but we have lots of innate qualities that just make us a natural leader, I think.
Artificial intelligence is going to be a part of the
I knew you
landscape
were gonna ask me
going
about
forward.
that.
Well, of course, that's all anybody talks about. Maybe it talks about us. But, you know, there are efforts to regulate it and harness it and to figure out where we're all going with this. How should businesses prepare to integrate the positive aspects of AI and try to avoid problems with it?
Well, AI is not the present. I mean, the future. It's certainly the present.
Yeah.
And you hear a lot of people say AI is going to take jobs away, and that is simply not the case. Jobs are evolving because of AI. AI won't take your job away, but someone that's comfortable using AI will take your job away. And executives that embrace AI and use it, like you said, the right way, for collaboration, for data-driven business decision-making, they're the ones that are going to excel. The executives that hold out and say, I'm not doing it, don't want anything to do with AI, they're going to have a very hard time competing in today's market and future market. 30 years ago, people just got a computer on their desk, and that's how we started a company. They didn't know how to use it. Some of your viewership right now thinks I'm 107 years old because of that statement, but yes, there were no computers on desk. So
I get it.
Yeah, right? I'm like, no, we really did teach people how to use a mouse. But you've seen so much change and growth, but the last 4 years has been the biggest, most rapid change in technology, and a lot of that is due to AI, but you can embed it within workflows so your sales team can work smarter rather, not harder, smarter. You can embed it throughout workflows for engineering, for manufacturing. It can comprehend and process so much data so quickly. It really does allow a company to be much more agile when it's used correctly.
To empower someone to make a better decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I use it all the time. I love it. We use it at Executive Training. We actually have training. We have everything from awareness, telling you, okay, here's what AI really means, to use cases. Here's how you can use AI in a sales team. Or here's how you can use it in production, all the way to security, because you're going to see a lot of things around security. By the way, I always say please and thank you to my AI friend. I call her Al, or call him Al. I always say please and thank you, so when the robots take over the
Well, how
world.
polite.
Yeah, well,
Again,
I need to be my friend.
Thank you for coming, and we appreciate you very much, and congrats again.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Crinda Francke with Executive Train. We'll wrap up Kentucky Newsmakers in a moment.